Now, what do you mean by method? So you always remember that method is nothing but some sort of functions that will take the argument and do some necessary thing. But in the Python, we have a specific type of functions that is called method. Now methods are generally associated with the object. So I told you about many objects like list object, this string object, tuple object, set object, right? Dictionary object. So all these are different objects, and all these different objects has associated method, and each and every object is associated with some methods. Okay, some functions, and that particular function is called method. Method always require this thing, means it required some object and the dot operator to call that particular method. So always remember that method is a type of function which is taking the argument and performing its actions as it is defined, but it is associated with some object. And how we'll call the method? We can call the method using that associated object, dot operator, and the method name, and then we'll put the argument on. Getting it? In detail, how we'll create our own method, that we'll see when we'll go to the topic of object-oriented programming, where we'll create our own object, and once we create our own object, we can create our own methods. Here in this particular topic, we are going to learn some inbuilt methods which are associated with some sort of objects. Now here are the different methods examples related to the list object. We all know what do you mean by list, right? So let's say if you are creating a list, this is not the list comprehensive, right? This is just a simple list. If you want to create this list comprehensive, how you can create it? Just now we have learned, right? We have a list, right? We can make it X is the return type, then for loop X in, and we can use the range, and it's starting from 1 going up to 9. So let's say what value it is giving. It is giving the value from 1 to 8. Okay, here we have not 1 to 8. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Okay, so this list comprehensive we have seen, right? So that's why I thought let's just do practice. So in that particular list, we have the value from 1 to 5, and the value 8 is there. And associated methods are listed here. So these are all the method list which are associated with the list object only. Maybe some methods are common in different objects, but here we are talking about only list methods. So these are all different list methods which are associated with list. Append, count, extend, insert, pop, remove, reverse, and sort. Let's try out few of them. So let's go to the append first. Now, what is this append? So append is going to append the value into the list. So once we are writing that particular list dot, because we have to, this is a method, right? So we have to use the object name and the dot operator. So object name is list, this one, list dot append, and then 6. So what that is going to do is that going to append the value 6 into the list. Let's do it and let's print it. So what is the value? It is the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 8 was already there. Then we are putting 6. So it is going to append it. Append means it is putting at the last. Let's talk about another function, which is a count function. Okay. So what that count function is going to count number of occurrences of an element in the list. So what we are looking here, we are looking here to count how many number of 2 are there in our list. So you see how many number of 2 are there in the list? Only one number of 2 are there in the list. So it is going to print 1. Let's say we have in the list somewhere we are putting 2 again, right? Let's run it. So how many 2's are there here? We have 2 times 2, right? So let's do that. So now what it is going to print? It is going to print the number of 2's in my list, that is LST. You can use the help option to find it out what are the different way how we can use the count. Just have to write help and that particular function which you want to use, and it will show you what are the different value we can put in the count. So see, this is a count. That value we have to put. Method is a built-in list instant return number of occurrences of value. So it will tell you about the method. Okay? One more thing you can do is, let's say you want to write some methods here. So let's say list is there and you want to, you don't know the spelling or you don't know which method you want to use. So just use tab. If you'll use tab in the Jupyter, so it is working in Jupyter only, it will give you the list of method that we can use. So see, what are the method we have? We have append method, clear method, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, short. All these are different type of methods, right? So any of the method you can use it, right? So this is how is very easy in Jupyter Notebook. You just have to use the keyword tab. Okay. So here also, let's say we are using tab. So count T is coming by default. Let's say we are doing that. So we have CO, and then what are the option we have? Copy is there and count is there. So we can choose any of this. So I think, is it clear to all of you? Let's see another example. We have seen append, we have seen count. Let's go for another method called extend. Now what is this method is, the extend method extend the list by adding all items of a list, passes as an argument to the end, list dot append, and then list or tuple type, list dot extend tuple type. Means what it is, it want to say is that this extend will add all the item of the list by passing that particular argument. Whether we are appending list with the list or we are appending list with the tuple, it is allowing both. Let's see this example. We have a list language and we have another list language 1. Now what we'll do is we want to merge these two, or we want to append these two. So how we can do that? We use the object x language dot. So language dot is, language is an object. This is the object, right? Dot operator, and then we'll use the function extend. And inside the extend, we may have either list or the tuple. So here we have a list that we are putting here. Now, after that, when you want to print the language, because it has already been extended, this language object already been extended. So all these value is coming, like French, English, and German already there in the language. From the language 1 is Spanish and Portuguese is adding here. It has already been added. So this is how the extend is going to work. Let's see some more examples here. We have a list we have a tuple, and we have a set. Okay, let's see how we can extend. So language is there. Always you use the dot operator list. So list should be the object for using that particular method, because that method is belongs to the list. So list is a language. So language dot extend, then language underscore tuple. So what we are doing is we are just merging list with tuple, and it will create a list at last. Here what we are doing is, here we are merging list with set. Okay, so here you can see this is the list with tuple, and this is the example of list with set, right? So this was the list previously. Now it merged with it, so it will become with 5 elements here. Now these 5 elements again merged with and again 2 elements, Chinese and Japanese. So Chinese and Japanese is coming here. See, this is how it works. So do you all understood how it is working? So this is your extend function. Now you can add 2 items by using plus operator also. And if you are putting that particular item to, sorry, you want to put the list to another list, you can do like this. And you can use a list here and a list here like this. We have a list A and we have a list B. When we want to add list of B to list of A, this is the way how we can do that. So B will be what merged with the value of A. So A value is 1 and 2. It is merged the B value. So B value will be 3 and 4. Right. So this is how your different operator or the operations related to the list taken place.